Hi, and welcome to the Shoppermon onboarding video. My name is Dean Goldman. I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Shoppermon, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your Shoppermon account and how to drill down into specific insights using the dashboard. But before we go to the dashboard, let's see how Shoppermon works under the hood. So, the whole idea of Shoppermon is that we want to show you exactly what your customers are seeing and alert you in real time on any purchase blocking issues they might be facing. So, how do we do that? Well, with Shoppermon there's no need for development work or copy and pasting code snippets. All you need is the store URL, and Shoppermon's technology does the rest automatically. First of all, by defining the key workflows that visitors take when they visit your store. So let's say for instance that someone wants to search for a particular product. The first thing that they're going to do is they're going to come to the home page. Then they're going to type in a search query, then they're going to come to the results page, and finally they're going to click through to the product that they would like to purchase. So this is just one of the workflows that Shoppermon sets up automatically when we begin to monitor your store. Next, Shoppermon does something called semantic extraction, where essentially what we're doing is scanning through all of the pages of your store, finding all of the elements that make up those pages, and then defining the ones that are the most critical to the e-commerce process. So those are things such as product name, price, billing options, add to cart button, and product image. In doing so, what we can then do is alert you in real time when any of these elements are broken or missing. Once Shoppermon has gathered all of the workflows and elements needed, it then converts those to scenarios. Each scenario follows one of these workflows and is written automatically in a language called YAML. There are 4 default scenarios. The first is a home scenario, where we check the home page and make sure that it's working correctly. Then we have a search scenario, where we're searching for a particular query and making sure that results appear. Then we have an add to cart scenario, where we're going to a category page, visiting the product, and then adding that product to the cart. And finally, we have a checkout scenario, where we're going to a product page, adding that product to the cart, and then moving to the first stage of the checkout. If you would like to increase your coverage by adding additional scenarios, get in touch with your account manager and they will be more than happy to assist you. Once everything is set up, Shoppermon then begins to visit your store. On each visit, it brings back logs, which as you can see aren't the easiest to understand. But what Shoppermon is very good at is being able to translate all of this data into useful information. For instance, on this screen we have 2 different 404 errors. The first one is a big issue. It's a missing product image. It's something that's likely to reduce the conversion rate of the product, and therefore we'll send you a real-time alert to let you know about the issue and help you proactively face it. Whereas this other 404 issue is a small problem. It's a missing Pinterest button. It's not something that's likely to reduce the conversion rate, and therefore we're not going to send you a real-time alert. We're just going to log that issue in the dashboard, and you can view it the next time you log into your Shoppermon account. So, with all that being said, let's move to the dashboard. So welcome to the Shoppermon dashboard. If this is a new account, I will be showing you how to configure the account correctly later in the video. But first, let's take a quick tour through the dashboard. At the top, we have the 3 main KPIs that we track. The first is the Shopee score. It's a score from 0 to 100, which takes into account several different factors, such as server uptime, the amount of issues that we pick up, and the average load times across the store. Once we've done that, we then aggregate that score against the other stores that we're currently monitoring, and that gives you a general indicator of your store's performance. Next, we have server uptime, where what we're doing is we're pinging the server and making sure that it's up. And finally, we have business uptime. It's essentially the same as server uptime, except for that we're also taking into consideration whether a shopper is also able to check out from your store. Next, we have the website pulse. This is where users come each morning to see at a glance if anything happened to their store overnight or during the weekend. It displays both slowdowns, as you can see by the spikes, and errors detected, signified by the red dots. We can also click on any point in the graph to drill down into what occurred at any particular point during a visit. Now we come to the issues page. Here we can find insights into the issues that Shoppermon has detected. Errors which are critical, purchase blocking issues such as a page failing to load or the checkout button not working, are marked in red. We can click on one of those here. So the alert itself tells us that this is a case of a checkout not loading. We can see here that it's a 502 error. It's occurred 23 times. The last occurrence was on August the 21st. We can also see here a snapshot of exactly what the browser saw during the error. So as you can see here, we have a server error, which also includes a reference number, which we can then use to look into server logs. And we also have a HTTP request breakdown. So this shows us all of the requests that our browser sent to your server in order to attempt to load the page. This also includes a timestamp, so you can use it again to look into server logs. And we'll go in a little bit more into the HTTP request breakdown page during the slowdown section of this video. So back to the alert, we can add a note to let other members of our team know what the situation is with the issue. We can email the issue to a specific member of our team so that they can resolve the issue. We can silence the issue, we can exclude it from reports, and we can also mark the issue as new. Next we have warnings. Warnings are less severe issues, they're highlighted in orange, and these are things such as missing images, missing CSS files, or missing font files. So we can see that this issue is related to a third-party extension. It's an SSL error. It occurred 557 times between August 22nd and August 25th. And we can click into the screenshot to see if it affected the user experience. Again, we can click into the HTTP request breakdown, and we can see if it also had effect on the load times of the page itself. Next, we have the slowdowns page. Here we have an overview of the load times across the store. Any spike on the graph signifies a slowdown, and the red areas highlight periods of severe slowdown. When Shoppermon detects a severe slowdown, you'll be sent a real-time alert so that you can handle the issue proactively. We can either click on a particular point to see the visit summary, or scroll down for a breakdown of each severe slowdown. In the breakdown itself, you can see all of the affected steps, whether it affected the full load or the interactive time, and also the magnitude of the slowdown. You can also see the peak time against the average time, as well as a graph showing the entire history of the slowdown. We can either use the graph to click through to a HTTP request breakdown, or click on the peak time. So now we come to the HTTP request breakdown. Here we can see all of the elements loaded across the page, and we can find which one caused the slowdown. So in this case, we can see that it's a JavaScript file, and we can see what it affected in the page. So here we have the first response time, which is the amount of time it takes to get an initial response from the server. And then we have the interactive time, which is the amount of time it takes for the page to become usable by the visitor. And finally, we have the full load time. This is the amount of time it takes for the entire page to load, including all of the elements. Next, we have the reports page. Here you can see an overview of the data collected by Shoppermon. You can change the view, anything from quarterly, monthly, weekly, to even daily. You can also export the data to CSV for your own reporting, and the report itself contains the main KPIs that we track at the top, and below, graphs showing all of the load times across critical areas of your store. The first graph shows the full user journey. Full user journey is the amount of time it takes to get all the way from the home page to the checkout. On this graph we show 2 times. The first is the interactive time, which is the amount of time it takes for the page to become usable by the visitor, and the second is the full load time. This is the amount of time it takes for the entire page to load, including all of the elements. After that we have different pages of the store broken down, and then we have additional times, which is the first response time, which is the amount of time it takes to get the initial response from the server. Now we come to the scenarios page. Here we can add, view, and edit our store scenarios. You can see here the default scenarios Shoppermon has automatically created for us, which we can switch on and off at the click of a button. We can also add a login scenario by using test credentials. If we wish to add a new default scenario, all we need to do is click here. If we would like to set up a new scenario, for instance, for a new product or a best-selling product, all we need to do is put in the product name, choose the type of scenario, and add the product URL. And then within a couple of seconds, Shoppermon has already started to monitor this new scenario. We can also view a scenario, and you can see the YAML code that Shoppermon has automatically generated in order to create this scenario. If you would like to create your own scenarios using YAML, we provide documentation and assistance. But if you'd prefer, if we view a scenario, we can see the YAML code that Shoppermon generates automatically in order to create these scenarios. If you would like to create customized scenarios using YAML, we provide full documentation and assistance. Or if you'd prefer, you can get in touch with your account manager and we will create the custom scenarios for you. And finally, we come to the settings page. Here we can configure the account to our specific needs. We can change the store name, select the store category, change the visit frequency, and change where we're testing from. We have 4 locations by default, but if you'd like to test from multiple locations, let us know and we can add that to your account. Next we can go to integrations, where we can add a Slack integration in order to be able to send alert messages to your preferred Slack channel. Next we go to users. There we can add all of the users from our organization to the Shopperman account, and that way everyone can receive real-time alerts and have access to the dashboard. So, welcome aboard and thank you for listening. If you have any other questions, feel free to check out our help center or get in touch with your account manager.